Cashiers that don't talk to you are rude. Let's talk about it. I've seen this conversation floating around here, and I've seen so many takes on it, most of which are in the favor of the cashier, some of which are, talking from a customer's perspective. While a lot of the people that were in favor of the cashiers were saying stuff like, maybe the cashier didn't hear you, or cashiers don't get incentivized enough to be nice to you. Cashiers don't get paid enough to hold a conversation with you. Maybe they were having a bad day. Maybe there's something going on in their life to where they're not happy, so they don't want to talk to you. While all of those things may be true, I want to ask, why do you feel entitled to a conversation? Why do you feel entitled to somebody to tell you how their day is going when you ask, how are you? If you give a compliment to someone, why do you feel entitled to a thank you? If you hold the door open for someone, why do you feel entitled to a thank you? If you tell someone to have a good day, why do you feel entitled to receive a thank you or a have a good day back at you or anything like that? That's because of our societal conditioning. Now, in some societies, it is weird and rude to talk to strangers. It is considered weird to have a stranger compliment you in public. I understand the argument is going to be, well, you're in America and this is how Americans do it. No, that's how you do it because that's how you were raised. And not everybody was raised like you. Not everybody was raised to wake up in the morning and tell everybody good morning first thing in the morning. Not everybody was raised to say thank you or you're welcome. That does not mean that they're rude. That does not mean that they're having a bad day. That does not mean anything. It just means that that's just who the person is. So instead of trying to label them as rude or just try to pawn it off as saying something along the lines of, well, if they got paid more, maybe they'll be nicer to you. It's not about being nice or being rude. It's just what is. They didn't feel like engaging in a conversation. That does not make them rude. If anything, that's, to me, highly respectable because kudos to you for not following societal norms. Kudos to you for standing within your own personal boundaries that you set for yourself. You don't want to have a conversation with anybody. You do not owe anybody a conversation. You don't want to say thank you to somebody. You do not owe anybody a thank you. Not engaging in a conversation itself inherently is not rude. And that's why I asked, why do you feel entitled to it? Because that's how we were conditioned as Americans to feel entitled to those things. We feel entitled to conversations. We feel entitled to thank yous for compliments. We feel entitled to thank yous for holding the doors open. We feel entitled to good mornings the first time you lay eyes on somebody for the first time of that day. We feel entitled to those things, and you're not. No one owes you a conversation. No one owes you a good morning. No one owes you a thank you. If they do it, it's because they genuinely wanted to do it. Either that or they have anxiety and they did it because they felt like this is something that society has pressured on them to think that they have to act this way, even if they don't want to do it. There have been plenty of times where I've told people thank you for compliments or held a small talk conversation where I absolutely did not want to. I had so much anxiety because I did not want to engage in a conversation. I just wanted to get my shit and go. And I respect those that stand within their own boundaries, that don't let that anxiety win, that doesn't let societal expectations to determine how they should move in their daily lives. It's not them being rude. It's not about the money. I mean, in some cases, maybe it is. But at the end of the day, you're not entitled to that. You're not entitled to anybody's time outside of their job description. If it's a cashier, the only time you're entitled to is for them to ring up your products and get your shit bagged and get you out the door. Their job is to make their company money. But holding a conversation with you is not a part of that job description. You've just become entitled to the point where you feel that that should be a part of their job description. And if they don't do that, then it's a problem because your entitlement and ego is telling you that it's a problem. It doesn't matter what's going on in their life. At the end of the day, they don't owe you a conversation. If something ain't rung up right, then their job is to help you out with that. But their job is not to hold a conversation with you. That is not their job. You want that? Go talk to a therapist. Seek therapy because that is their job. Their job is to find out how you're doing. Their job is to hold a conversation with you. Okay? That is their job. That's not the job of a cashier. And from the perspective of a former cashier, as well from the perspective of a customer who has had far too many people from cashiers to customers and strangers in between trauma dump their whole life on me, all while I'm just trying to get a Mountain Dew. I appreciate people that don't want to hold a conversation with me. If I say have a good day, I'm not expecting you to tell me have a good day back. I'm not expecting a thank you. I just want you to know have a good day, because maybe nobody has told you to have a good day today. And I want to be that person that does that. If I'm doing it with an expectation to receive something back, then it's not genuine. So the next time you see a cashier, a stranger, and they don't engage in conversations, don't say thank you, don't respond the way that you feel entitled to, sit with yourself and ask yourself, why do you feel that way? And why do you feel entitled to that person's time and words? Because you're not.